Well, hello there, people. I'm outside here in the polytunnel. It is about 9 o'clock at night, something like that, and I've got a torch here so that hopefully you can see me. So I've been nominated by Blue Star Dave to answer the 3 questions of what I've learnt this year. It's like a little nomination that's going around YouTube, where YouTube gardeners are being asked that very question. So, 3 things I've learnt. So whether I've learnt them this year or in previous years and relearn them this year, because quite often in gardening we do make mistakes. We sometimes make the same mistakes more than once, but so I'm going to give my answers, and people can listen and hopefully learn from those if they indeed wish. So the first thing that I've learnt is make gardening applicable to you. By that I mean take your individual characteristics, your individual circumstances, and tailor make your gardening situation to yourself. So by that I mean a classic example that I've used before would be someone who is working 6, 10 to 12 hours a day, or maybe longer, 6 days a week. Okay, somebody like that will not have a massive amount of time or energy in order to dedicate to gardening, allotmenteering or whatever, but they may have time to grow some chili plants on a windowsill, or a few tomato plants or some cucumbers in some pots that they can just nip out and water, look after like that. Because if someone like that turns around and goes, yeah, I'm going to have a real big go at gardening this year, they're going to probably very quickly find themselves unstuck for whatever reason. It might be that they don't have the energy, unsurprisingly, when they come home from work, haven't got the headspace for a project like that. But with regards to starting off relatively small and just having the project suitable to them, I mean, I myself, many of you who have been watching me for a while may be aware that I used to have an allotment, and I no longer have that allotment. I've decided to concentrate on domestic growing, and part of my reasoning for this was because I work as a maintenance gardener, and quite often when one comes home, one doesn't want to be going down to the allotment and digging, and whatever, or no digging, or whatever you want to do. It's just time, effort, resources, the energetic cake, if you will. There's only so much that only so much of a slice that you can take before the slice is all gone. So make it applicable to you. Very, very important, that is. The second thing that I've learnt is don't be too blasé, okay? Now, many of you will be aware of the poor mango plant that died, basically, because last winter I kept it in an unheated conservatory, and mango plants are incredibly tender. I got away with it with the blood orange tree, which is currently outside here underneath the protection there. Got away with that in the unheated conservatory last year, but not the mangoes. So yeah, I've been very honest about that mistake. I don't mind publishing my mistakes here on YouTube because people can learn from my mistakes and I can look back as well, and at the end of the day we all make them. And I always believe in gardening and many aspects of life. The only person that doesn't make any mistakes is a person who doesn't do anything. So there we go. So that's my other reason. And the third thing I've learned is just make sure you have fun. Because you're going to have crop failures, you're going to have successes, you're going to have things that are mediocre, you're going to have things from year to year that do better one year and didn't do so good the next. I mean, if you look at my melon playlist, you'll see that one year I had some great success with regards to growing watermelons here in the UK, and I've not been able to duplicate that success since. And some of that will be my own and not giving it the necessary attention to the project that I did at that time. Some of it will be to do with, the weather. And at the end of the day, you can't do everything. But you've seen what I did with regard to the melon project. When it failed, or I knew it was going to fail, I had some little plug plants that I'd grown. I think it's they're still in there actually, spinach and chard. I just put that straight into place and still utilise that bed for some lovely greens. So and just be prepared for the odd little you know, little thing to go wrong, would one say, in regards to gardening. So there you go, a little bonus point for you there, if you will. You know, have stuff that you can put in case a crop fails or whatever, that's suitable, that you can get in. Maybe something that's a little bit, you know, no such thing as guaranteed in the world of gardening, but more likely to, you know, be successful. For instance, you know, growing melons here in the UK it can be done, but it's not as easy as growing things like spinach and chard. You know, so yeah, there you go. There are my 3 plus 1 bonus point things I've learnt in gardening, as I stated. Whether I've learnt them this year and the reinforcements happened this year, or I've learnt them before, who knows. But yes, so who am I going to nominate? Well, honestly speaking, I really don't know. So if anyone below wants to nominate themselves, please feel free to post down below 3 things you've learnt in gardening this year. And if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. And you can always check me out on Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram. Certainly is chilly, and I don't know if you could see this. I'm just going to take the torch off here. Come on. I don't know if you could see that up there, but there is ice on the inside of the polytunnel here. Can you just, yeah, you can just see that glimmering there. So it is indeed cold.